Nolan Wells case has been nothing but one big cover up. And what this cover up has done is validated the corruption within America's justice system. And the corruption starts at the initial investigation. Nolan Wells case has shown us that the corruption started at the sheriff's department, the district attorney's office, and now the forensic pathologist. Let's talk about it. Nolan Wells' independent autopsy results came back fast. However, the state's autopsy results had never been released prior to the independent autopsy results, which I knew. I said it. I said the moment they release the independent autopsy, that's when the state will come out and say, okay, this is what ours is. And it's exactly what they did. By them doing that, and it ended up being the same as the independent, which is undetermined, it got me to thinking. So I took a deep dive into Mississippi. I said, okay, what's going on with Staci Turner? We all know about the 4 cases, which I'm going to dive into that as well, because it's deep. It's deep. But I said, when did she start in this position and where did she come from? So it looks like Staci Turner started or got hired on in January of 2021. I said, so what happened prior to that? Looks like it was Dr. Mark Laval. Dr. Mark Laval. Now, for some strange reason, this pathologist up and resigned. And that was in the heat of the pandemic. So why did he resign? And he left them with so many autopsies to be done. They were backlogged. But he up and resigned. And guess what? They left no trace of why this man resigned. He just up and resigned just like that in the heat of the pandemic. What I can tell you, when I did look into Dr. Laval's history, it looks like he had a couple cases of missing tissues. Yeah. And it was Oren Joseph Lewis versus the state of Mississippi in the appeals court. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm back. I had to come inside. It got a little dark. Nevertheless, let's finish. Okay, it looks like the other case that Dr. Laval had in the Mississippi Court of Appeals is John Chadwick Grimm's case versus the state of Mississippi. The initial pathology examination prepared May 22nd, 2017 by Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Laval. He made a provisional pathological diagnosis of blunt head injury of undetermined etiology. Then turned around in the final pathology exam dated August 14th, 2017, Dr. Laval listed the diagnosis as multiple blunt head injuries due to beating. Grimm's urges that Dr. Laval only made the changes because he was given additional information which constituted hearsay, making the autopsy report inadmissible. Because Grimm's attorney did not preserve this on the record, it was barred from the appeals court ruling on it, unfortunately. But shows proof this could have been overturned. Well, let's go on. Shall we go on? Yes, we're going to go on. So that's just proven. I'm just trying to figure out why this man or this doctor up and resigned in the heat of the pandemic. Something was going on in Mississippi. He was getting ready to be up under some, but they made sure they cleaned their clock because there is no trace of why this man resigned at all. Then that brings us to Staci Turner, who became the chief medical examiner January 2021. Staci Turner, we all know these cases here, these 4 black boys. Damon Cameron to start. July 2021, a 29-year-old black man who died after Rankin County Sheriff deputies violently arrested him. During the arrest, the deputies repeatedly used tasers on Cameron. If you're not familiar with the case, Cameron and one of the deputies pressed his knee into Cameron's back, and it was said that Cameron said, "I can't breathe." The paramedics was called to the scene, and Cameron was taken to the local hospital, where doctors pronounced him unalive the next day. Turner later ruled Cameron's cause of death as undetermined, even though the autopsy documented internal bleeding in the neck, an injury pattern consistent with compression of upper back or the neck area. The report also describes several facial swelling and trauma. Yet, she said undetermined. But get this, it gets better. It gets better. A grand jury declined to indict the deputies, relying on Turner's findings. So they didn't get charged with this man's death. However, in 2023, 3 independent forensic pathologists reviewed the case and concluded that Cameron's death was a homicide. But yet, she said undetermined. One of the deputies that was involved in Cameron's arrest is now serving 20 years in federal prison related to a separate case that the feds had on him called the Goon Squad torture. And he's serving 20 years. He should have went down for this man's death. But because Turner refused or put undetermined and the grand jury wouldn't indict, this is what we get right there. Then we have Trey Reed. Don't forget Trey Reed, 21-year-old student at Delta State University, found hanging from a tree in September 2025. Bolivar County officials initially ruled his death a suicide. Turner's office later affirmed the conclusion, classified the death as a suicide by hanging. Now, mind you, they hadn't did an autopsy or anything. It was immediate suicide. That independent autopsy hasn't ever been released. We don't know what's going on with that, but it's just showing the pattern. Then we have Shannon Wilson. This woman has a hell of a history. Shannon Wilson, 13-year-old black boy, died May 2022. Harrison County officials ruled it an accidental drowning. According to the local reports, authorities made the determination without conducting an autopsy. They told the family, according to records, that they do not do autopsies on drowning victims. That's not what they did for Nolan. Nevertheless, the family was stating that they alleged that the white youths threw him into the water. That's why they wanted the autopsy. So when they got ready to pay for the autopsy, guess what? Without the parents' consent, the young boy's body was already embalmed. And with him being embalmed, it interfered with the independent autopsy. Can you believe this? This shit, you can't make it up. You can't make this shit up, okay? This is why I dug. And now we have Nolan. Did you guys know that Nolan family did not identify his body because they would not allow them to see his body? He was identified by his dental records. So if the family wanted to do an independent autopsy and get it over to their autopsy place first, they couldn't, because they had already taken it and said, oh no, we're holding on to this body, we're investigating it. See where I'm going with this? Just not right. And now that the independent autopsy came back as undetermined, now the state's autopsy is stating undetermined, pending further investigation. Isn't that just a coincidence? You cannot make this shit up. You seriously cannot make this shit up. I remember the Trey Reed case last year. I have a video on that. I was outdone. I was outdone. And the sad part is, it's continuous and it's happening over and over and over again. And people are getting away with this. Now we have police brutality that's out of control. The state of Mississippi needs to be investigated, and I mean fast, because this is opening up Pandora's box, if you ask me, in my opinion. And everything that's going on in Nolan Wells case, all of the inconsistencies that's coming up, and these people are saying that we need to investigate further. We have missing phone footage. We have now allegedly a video coming out of a young man stating that they need to come forward, or else he is going to spill everything. We have inconsistent GPS. It's just too much. It's just really too much. And this here, and it's more. It's just, I would be all day recording, trying to tell you everything I found. This lady here, this medical examiner, and the entire state of Mississippi, because it's not just her, it's a pattern of that state, needs to be investigated. And Nolan Wells case, as I stated before, is about to expose the state of Mississippi, because Nolan Wells case is nothing but one big cover-up right in our face, a slap in our face. And in the interview that the young man did, with whom I don't even want to say that man's name because he get on my damn nerve, he did nothing but contradict his damn self. And if you believe what that young man said, I've never seen a friend. If one of my friends were to pass away and then you take me back to the island, the place where they died up under my care, there's no way I'd be at somebody's hospital of panic attack. It's no excuse. Nolan Wells case cover-up will be exposed. And this forensic pathologist, you going down, baby. You going down. Because there's a lot of people on your head. Seriously. Drop down in the comments and let me know how you feel about this new information that Nolan Wells case cover-up is exposing. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel so you'll be alerted the next time I upload a new video. And don't forget to follow me for more controversial topics.